Well, I must say I was expecting a more of a sleepy crowd, 10 speeches over the span of 4 hours, and a hearty lunch. I'm surprised all of you are still with your eyes glued to me. But well, good news, I'm the last speech before you get freedom from this misery. So, my topic is ambition. And I believe ambition is not a choice, it's the only way. As I've explored through the ages, I've seen myself and how I've grown. As a very young 9 or 10-year-old child, I had a very simple philosophy. Never really bothered much about things and accepted life as it came. Maybe all I really cared about was getting ice cream after school, or thought about how quickly it melted when you really wanted to eat it. But as I grew older, by the age of around 13 or 14, I started realizing that I actually wanted to think more about the things that I valued. Ideas, concepts, and philosophies. And in this hunt of thinking deeply about various different things around me, I came across this one question. And I here intend to ask you all the same question. And let's answer it together. Now, when I say the word loved ones, who are the first few people that come to your mind? Cling on to these people. Think about them. And now put yourself into this situation. Imagine. Now these so loved ones of yours, their lives are in danger. But you have the choice to save it by risking your own life. Would you take the leap of faith? I want all of you to just speak out your answer, yes or no. Shall we? Yes. Now, I suppose that's also the answer on most of your lips. But now you may ask me, Pranav, how is this even closely related to your topic of ambition? Well, I'd say in more than one way. If you think about it, when you're taking the leap of faith to save your loved ones, you're basically taking a risk in order to prevent your life from getting worse in the absence of your loved ones. When you're being ambitious, you're basically taking a risk in order to improve your life for the better. So, well, why is it that people are so ready to take the leap of faith, whereas they are in denial of being ambitious? I believe the reason for that is because we take the leap of faith because we fear what is to come, whereas we are in denial of ambition because we are ignorant of what is to come. I'll tell you a small incident from my very own life, and this happened around 5 months prior. This was in June when we first got the circulars for school cabinet elections. And I saw the circular and I look at my competitors who will be going up against me in these elections. And I see I am a very unpopular person in a very popular competition. In fact, if you asked anybody one day before the elections, will Pranav Hegde win the elections? It will be an easy no. But then I still took the risk. And the reason I did it is because now if I equate this entire world to an ocean, the number of ambitious people are just worth a bucket. And now in this bucket, the number of people who are confident about their ambitions are worth just a drop. I wanted to be that drop. And well, lucky for me, I did win the elections. Because let me tell you, we say spending 2 to 5 years to achieve something and taking risks is not worth it. But then if you think about it, spending 30 years without any risks to achieve nothing, is that not a risk in itself? Now, I believe the main reason that people are afraid to be ambitious is because we overestimate the things that we have in our life. We believe that life is meant to be peaceful without challenges, without problems. We all aim to live such a life. We associate ambition with excess workload, challenges to face, issues every day, and complete lack of peace. Well then, let me put this into perspective. Imagine right now, at this very moment, you lay dead on your seat. Would you feel any kind of tension? Any stress by any chance? Do you have day-to-day problems that you have to solve? None of it. All you feel is peace. So when you have a goal to live a peaceful life without any stress, do you have a goal to live a life at all? Life is supposed to be lived to the fullest. Life is about having a purpose. Life is about having something to keep you awake at night and something to wake you up every day in the morning. And all of these are byproducts of ambition, something that ambition and ambition alone can give you. Well, perks of being a talkative person like I am is that I always want to share my ideas with the people around me. And one person who fell victim to this was my brother. So when I told him about my beliefs about ambition, he made one thing very clear to me. Pranav, firstly, a person of your height talking about ambition is very ironic. And well, secondly, you want ambition because you desire fame and money in your life. But I do not desire any of it. I do not want people following me when I get out of my house. I do not want a lot of money in my bank account. All I care about is living a happy life. Well, if his logic rung a bell in your mind and you thought, well, that is a true point, I believe I need to make one thing clear, and that is, what is ambition? According to me, ambition is not about having millions of followers on Instagram or about having billions of dollars in your bank account. Ambition is about impact. Ambition is about how you change the lives of the people around you for the better. Millions around the globe have faced the problem of ineffective public transport. But out of all of these millions, only one of them founded Uber. I don't think it is the fame that he gained that makes him successful. I don't think it is the money that he earned that makes him successful. I believe it is that he became the change he wanted to see. And that made him successful. And that is, according to me, is the true definition of ambition. But my brother, just like myself, has a reply to everything. And he told me, fine, you're right. Fame and money, maybe that is not important. Maybe that is not ambition. But think about it. You glorified the success of the Uber founder. You told everything that he achieved. But what about the things you did not mention? His struggles, all the sacrifices he had to make of his own happiness in order to get to where he was. I do not want to sacrifice that happiness from my life. I do not want to lose those components of my life which make me happy. And hence I don't want to be ambitious. Well, if that is really your argument, look at these people. They are the most successful people in their fields. They definitely look happy, don't they? Elon Musk is probably planning his conquest of acquiring Afghanistan to promote free speech now. But if you really think about it, why are they happy? Isn't ambition supposed to devoid your life out of all happiness because of the sacrifices you make to achieve it? Well, I don't think so. I believe it is our flawed definition of what is true happiness. Now, I'll give you this scenario right here. Take this yellow line that you can see. This is your lifestyle. This line defines you. Any event that happens above this line makes you happy, whereas any event that happens below this line makes you sad. So the simple rule of thumb is stay above the line, be happy, isn't it? Well, I think not. Now, imagine this situation. A box of chocolates, right? This is a random event that I've generated. And now imagine I give this box of chocolates to a homeless child who is starving on the roads. The child would take the box of chocolates, hold my hands, weep tears of joy and express its gratitude. But if I give this same box of chocolates to one of you here, what would be your response? Thank you, Pranav. I appreciate it. That's very sweet of you. Why is there such a huge, stark contrast in between the way you react and the way the child reacted? It is because happiness is not about how much higher you can get on this scale. Happiness is the difference between where you stand and what you achieve. This bottom line here displays the child's lifestyle. And hence the same box of chocolates made a bigger difference to him than to any of you. And that is why the child became more happy when compared to all of you. So now you may ask, how is ambition related to any of this? I don't see any ambition in a box of chocolates. Well, that is true. But let me bring ambition onto this scale now. When you have an ambitious goal, it is all the way at the top, right up there, at the pinnacle. But in order to achieve this ambitious goal, you have to go through a lot of hardships, a lot of struggles, a lot of problems that you have to solve. And with every hardship and problem and challenge that you have to go through, you go lower and lower and lower on the happiness scale. So now you may tell me, Pranav, this is absolutely contradictory to what you're stating. Isn't in this case ambition making you more sad? Isn't it making you devoid of all your happiness? Well, think about it. On the happiness scale, yes, these problems, these challenges are taking you away from a happy life. But then if you think more broader, with every challenge and every problem that you face, you closer to your goal of your ambitious goal. And when you finally do achieve that ambitious goal, the happiness that you will feel, that is true happiness. And that is the happiness that only ambition and ambition alone can give you. So, doesn't this feel like a story full of rainbows and sunshine? Ambition gives you a purpose to live. Ambition makes you happy. What does ambition not do? Well, many people will vouch for this and tell me, Pranav, you gave the nice story of you winning the elections, and you told how, and you justified how being ambitious helped you, and hence you won the elections. But think about it. What about all those people who didn't win the elections? What about the hardships that they faced? What about the disappointment that they had to experience? Now, doesn't that go against happiness? Didn't being ambitious and having high hopes bring them down? Well, I'd say no. Because personally, I remember telling this to my teacher a day before the elections. I don't really mind losing or winning the elections tomorrow, because I have truly loved the experience that I have gone through in the past 1 week, going around the school, explaining my perspectives to people and telling why I am a capable candidate. Maybe I don't win tomorrow, but then the journey I had to go through in order to get where I did, that was worth the effort. So ambition is not only about the goal. We think, don't be ambitious because you will fail and you will be disappointed. But ambition is about the journey that you undertake in order to get there, which is actually more valuable than the goal itself. Well, remember, you lose when you give up, not when you fail. You failing is just a stepping stone to success. But you will always be successful if you remember that you never gave up. If you die in your grave knowing that you never gave up, that is success that is undefinable. And now that you know that you can't fail unless you give up, think about this. How big would you dream if you couldn't lose? And just cling on to that thought for a second. The answer will surprise you. Finally, I'd like to end with this nice quote. Go big. You either get an epic story or an epic outcome. When you die, you'll be happy with either. This is your life. Take charge of it. Set that ambitious goal now. Work towards that ambitious goal now. Because if you delay it, the ice cream will melt. Thank you.